So here is how I decide which tools to use as a startup investor. In the previous video, I've shown you which are the top 30 tools that I use on a daily basis as a venture capital investor in January 2026. But this stack looked completely different just a year ago, not even to speak about 3 or 5 years ago. And here in this list, you can see that I've been tracking all of the different tools dedicated to venture capital investors over the years. And it has evolved from merely 100 tools available in 2018 to 400 tools here in 2023. And I stopped tracking at some point where we surpassed 1,000 tools in 2025. In this video, I will show you how I decide which new tools to try out and which ones to leave aside. So I use a very simple framework that has 2 different dimensions. Number 1, who is the user? Is the user an individual or is it a team? For individual users, these are typically prosumer tools that are priced on a per seat basis, less than $100 per month. These tools include, for example, Granola, which is a meeting transcription tool. It might include something like Calendly for calendar scheduling, or also something like Superhuman, which is an email productivity tool. On the flip side, we have team-focused enterprise tools. These enterprise tools typically charge on a per company basis and might potentially even add a seat-based pricing on top. These tools are typically significantly more expensive, so they are easily in the thousands or tens of thousands, sometimes even in the hundreds of thousands on a per company basis a year. And we use 2 completely different frameworks to evaluate these different tool categories. For the individual prosumer ones, I typically just sign up and test them for a few days, sometimes for a month, and see if it works. In many cases, I actually sign up to some competing tools to figure out which ones is the one that I personally like the most. Because the pricing is so low, typically a few tens or dozens of dollars a month, it is quite easy to test out and then also throw away. There's very little downside in it and not worth doing too much research ahead. For the team and enterprise focused ones, they are typically significantly more expensive, and this is why we evaluate them in a more rigid process. So we first of all define what is the outcome we are looking for. We define the metrics on how we measure the output. We do a proper map where we compare all of the different competitors with pros and cons. And then we talk to at least 2 or 3 of these providers. One example is the database benchmarking paper that I have published in 2020, and we published an update via Data-Driven VC in 2024. And in this paper, we benchmarked the coverage and accuracy of different startup databases like Crunchbase, D-Room, PitchBook, CB Insights, and more. And we run similar analysis and evaluation processes for every new enterprise vendor that we are procuring. So that's the first dimension. The second dimension is about what outcome are we looking to achieve with this tool. And there are 2 primary categories. Number 1 is efficiency, and number 2 is effectiveness. On the efficiency side, it's all about reducing the input, but increasing the output. And the input in most of the cases is your time, and the output can be something like number of startups screened, it can be number of emails handled, it can be number of documents processed, and so on and so forth. So these efficiency and mostly productivity tools are primarily focused on saving us time. They are not so much about the accuracy or quality of a specific outcome, which is in most of these tools fixed. The second dimension is the effectiveness. And effectiveness means we can do something completely new that we were not able to do before, or we can do something better. So it's really about the quality of our achievements. So we might suddenly, with new data providers, be able to identify new startups, or we might be able to do better due diligence because we have more data available. This is what we define as effectiveness. And some tools might be either or, some tools might be both of the categories with a specific mix. And this mix defines also how we evaluate these tools. So there's a quick summary on how I'm evaluating which new tools are worth testing, how I test and evaluate them, and which ones to leave aside. In the next videos, we will dive deeper into how we connect our tool stack, how we automate different workflows, for example, with Claude Code, N8N, and a couple of the other tools that you've seen in previous video. So make sure to subscribe and see you for the next video. Ciao.